All right, so hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining our financial literacy class today. I hope we are all ready to listen and to take notes as needed. And I encourage everyone to take screenshots of information that interests or intrigues you all throughout the presentation. And for our first time guest, welcome. If we have questions during the presentations, please write them down and talk to the person who invited you after this class. Okay? All right. So for today, we have three goals: learn, relearn, and unlearn. So we learn something new today, we relearn something familiar, and unlearn something that needs changing. And for today, we will be discussing about an overview of financial education, particularly on financial challenges, financial concepts, and of course, financial solutions so that we will have an idea on what financial literacy is or what financial education means and why is it very important for us Filipinos. And to introduce myself, my name is Mayyu Cappleman-Bajet, and I will be your host for today, and I will share with you some of the practical and important things that we have learned in IMG. Our mission is to educate 30 million Filipino families by 2030, and we are so glad that you are here with us so we can learn together. And most of what we are about to learn today are all taken from this book entitled The Secret to Saving and Building Your Future. So let's jump into it. First, I would like to share a short, let's say, introduction to financial literacy. And so let's define what financial literacy is. So financial literacy is defined as the ability to understand money. Our ability to understand money. So when we are financially literate or financially educated, we understand the concepts of budgeting, saving, emergency fund, investing, paying debts or utang, insurance, and calculating interests. So when we are financially literate or financially educated, we can make smart financial decisions about our expenses, our savings, our investments, and of course, our retirement. And we understand the value of money management, hence we make good financial decisions to secure our own future. In other words, financial literacy is knowing how to properly manage our own money. And not only knowing that, but practicing how to allocate money for expenses, for paying debts, for emergencies, for investments, for future purchases, and for retirement. Financial literacy or financial education is important. Why? Because when it comes to money, we have this common idea that the poor continue to be poor while the rich continue to become richer. However, this is a wrong idea that we need to unlearn because it is the financially literate or financially educated who becomes rich and will continue to be rich because they understand how money works and how to make money work for them. That is why IMG or International Marketing Group wants to share to all of us the secrets of the wealthy because financial education is not just for the rich. Financial education is for everyone, no matter what our background is, no matter what profession we are in, no matter what our religion is or our political views are, no matter how much income we earn, no matter if we are let's say already rich or have a business, no matter what our education level is. And IMG serves as a link in connecting individuals and families to different financial tools and solutions to achieve financial security. And with the guidance of our, let's say, financial mentors, we are here to share with you the basics of financial education because we believe that anyone is capable and should be given the opportunity to change his or her life for the better. So here in IMG, or let's say IMG is a community where we help one another. We learn from each other and we share what we learn to other people. Plus, we never stop learning because as members of this community, we have access to all possible resources for us to learn and continue learning about money and money management. So in IMG, we will learn that financial education is more powerful than money because money is just a tool. In IMG, we will learn that we can control money instead of money controlling us. And of course, not all of us were taught about financial education back in high school or college, right? Did you ever have a course or let's say a subject when they talk about financial management, right? So that is why IMG continues to spread awareness about financial education to all Filipinos worldwide. Okay? Furthermore, in IMG, we will learn how to make money, save money the right way, accumulate money, or how to grow our money without being scammed, and most importantly, to protect the money that we worked hard for. So why are these very important? It's because our future is in our hands and not on anyone else's, right? So we will learn how to manage our own money by understanding the financial concepts, to learn how money works, and to practice and how to make money work for us. That is why IMG encourages everyone to acquire financial education, because financial education together with discipline will help us to become wealthy and financially secure. Moreover, IMG and of course us members are here to share to you about financial education because we have financial challenges, right, that we are all facing. And there are 4 major areas of financial challenges. I'm sure these are all familiar, so we just have to categorize them, all right? So the first major area is the uncertain labor market, or basically a job security. So this means that there is no security or assurance that our jobs will last long, especially in the private sector. So we are not certain if our jobs will be there in the next months or in the next years, right? And with advancing software and technology, everything seems to be digital nowadays. So if you notice, automation is starting to take over, thus replacing more and more human workers. The second major area is low savings and high debt, which is very self-explanatory because this simply means that we do not have enough savings, but we do have debts or utang, right? And since we don't have enough savings, we tend to get more loans or utang every time we encounter a financial situation, such as a medical emergency. So our spending habits also adds to this situation. So if we have the mentality of, let's say, party now, bahala na later, or YOLO, you only live once, or bahala na si Batman, or let's say the deserve ko to, right? I deserve this, so I have to buy this. So we tend to spend our money without considering of our future. We just spend. So our bad spending habits will have a big impact on our retirement, of course, right? So instead of a worry-free retirement, the retirement money that we get is used to pay for our debts. In short, nothing is left for us to spend when we retire. That is why there are people who continue to work beyond age 65 in order to survive. The third major area is the high cost of education. So especially for parents or siblings who are supporting other siblings with their education. We all know that tuition fees increase all the time, right? And aside from tuition fees, there are other expenses for education, whether our children are enrolled in public or private schools or in any school for that matter, and even when they have scholarships. Hence, majority of Filipinos need to save enough for the cost of a good education. And the fourth major area is the increasing cost of living. And this is directly affected by inflation, which is of course beyond our control. So inflation is when the value of our money goes low and the prices for goods and services goes high. So the higher the inflation rate, the lower the value of our money. So let's take our 1,000 pesos for example. Let's say 10 years ago, or let's say 5 years ago, we can buy groceries with 1,000 pesos, and those groceries can last for 2 weeks, right? Do you remember that time? Right? Today, that 1,000 pesos can only buy groceries that is good for 3 to 5 days. Thus, inflation affects the purchasing power of our money. So when there is no increase in salary, what can 1,000 pesos buy us in the next 10 years? In summary, these are the 4 major areas where most Filipinos are financially challenged. So, how do we overcome these challenges? Right? Okay, so to overcome these financial challenges, the answer to that is by educating ourselves, by learning about the financial concepts for us to further understand how money works and how it will work for us. And we're very lucky to be here today because we will learn about 4 financial concepts. And these are saving the right way, the X-curve concept, the power of compound interest using the rule of 72, and how to build a solid financial foundation. So let's determine how we are saving today, okay? So in general, people save money in 3 ways: the wrong way, the right way, and the abundant way. The wrong way of saving is shown as income minus expenses equals savings. This means that when we receive our income, we spend first on expenses and save what is left. So this is the wrong formula of saving, because what if there is nothing left to save after expenses? Most likely we will not have savings if this is the way we save money. On the other hand, the right way of saving is income minus savings equals expenses. This means that when we receive our income, we save first and spend what is left. So this is the right way of saving because we prioritize in setting aside money for our future selves, right? For future expenses or even for emergencies. So in short, we are paying ourselves first, okay? And lastly, the abundant way of saving using the abundance formula is like the upgraded version of the right way of saving. And it is shown as income minus tithes minus savings equals expenses. So we advocate the abundance formula or the abundant way of saving because we strongly believe in sharing our wealth or sharing our blessings and giving back to God, right? So tithe is the money we give to the church or on an organization or to charities that nurtures our spiritual growth. All right? So the abundant way is, let's say the formula for the abundant way is translated as earn 100%, give 10% as tithe, donation or gift, invest 20%, that is savings, and the remaining 70% will be for expenses. And this allocation, the 110-20-70 allocation, can be adjusted based on our preference and capacity. Further, if the abundant way of saving is something that we do not normally practice, make sure then that we are saving the right way by paying ourselves first before spending money on expenses. That way, we will be assured that we are saving money for our future. Okay? And it's very important to save money for our future because of the X-curve concept. So what is the X-curve concept? So this concept states that ideally over time, as we get older, our responsibility decreases and our wealth increases, as shown by the 2 curves that you see on your screen that run opposite directions during our lifetime. So the red line is our responsibility line, and it represents the law of decreasing responsibility. The green line is our money line or our wealth line, and it represents the law of building wealth. So basically, the idea here is when we are younger, we have more responsibilities and less savings. That is why we work hard to have money, right? When we are younger, when we, let's say after we graduate from college, we start working because we have no savings or we have less savings at the time. So when we are younger, we are less secure because we are earning a temporary income to support permanent needs. Okay? On the other hand, as we get older, we have lesser responsibilities and more savings and investments. So when we retire, we say we are more secure because we are able to save the right way and invest a portion of our money during our younger years until we get older. Okay, so that's the X-curve concept, right? Right. Okay. However, there are two questions that we have to consider during our lifetime. So when we are younger and fulfilling our responsibilities, what if we die too soon? Are we prepared for this? Who will then take care of our families who are depending on us? And when we get older, what if we live too long? Do we have enough savings and investments that will last us 20 to 30 more years? So for these questions, we have answers. And these are, if we die too soon, life insurance can help take care of our family. Why? Because life insurance is equivalent to instant cash that can help our family in the event something happens to us. And if we live too long, investment and long-term health care will take care of us. So if our next questions in mind are, how do we get life insurance, or how do we start investing, or where do we get a long-term healthcare plan, right? So if those are the questions in mind, please talk to the person who invited you and they will help you with the right information. Okay? Further, in order to understand about the law of building wealth, let's focus on that one, right? We need to understand the concept of the power of compound interest using the rule of 72. So compound interest is the addition of interest to the principal sum of a loan or an investment over time. In other words, it's just interest on interest on interest. Okay? Patong-patong na interest. And this is best described using the rule of 72. So the rule of 72 was popularized by Albert Einstein, and it is a shortcut used to estimate the number of years for our money to double at a given annual rate of return. So we simply divide 72 over the interest rate. Okay? So let's say when we have, if the interest rate is 4%, then our money doubles every 18 years. 72 divided by 4. For an 8% interest rate, our money doubles every 9 years. 72 divided by 8. And for a 12% interest rate, our money doubles every 6 years. Easy as that, right? Simple calculation, simple math, right? So that's the rule of 72. So 72 is a constant number. So let's have an example here. Let's say we are 29 years old today and we inherited 100,000 pesos. Wow, right? So, if we invested our 100,000 pesos with 4% interest rate, our money can grow to as much as 400,000 pesos at age 65 because money doubles every 18 years. Okay? However, if we invested our 100,000 pesos with 8% interest rate, our money can grow to as much as 1.6 million pesos at age 65. Why? Because money doubles every 9 years. How much more if we have invested that 100,000 pesos in an account that gives us 12% interest rate, right? Our money can grow to as much as 6.4 million pesos at age 65 because money doubles every 6 years. So basically, when we invest our money, the higher the interest rate, the faster our money can double, which is kind of very common sense, right? But you have to keep in mind that compound interest works best when investing for the long term. and that is a minimum of 5 years. So you invest your money, let's say for 3 years, and you withdraw that money, you won't see or you won't feel the compound interest there because it lacks enough time to compound. Okay, so again, compound interest works best when investing for the long term, and that is a minimum of 5 years. Okay, and I have another example. Let's say we don't have or we didn't inherit any 100,000 pesos. We're like back to zero, right? So I won't go into detail with this example, so you can take a screenshot to review later. Okay, so when we consistently invest money, even if it's just 1,000 pesos per month, and so long as it is invested with high interest rate, such as in our example here, 12% average annual return, we can accumulate enough money when we retire at age 65 to have at least a comfortable retirement. Okay? So why is learning about compound interest very important? It's very important to learn about compound interest because in this example, we can clearly see the big difference between money saved versus money invested. Okay? So if we invested 1,000 pesos per month for 40 years with 12% annual rate of return, our money can grow to as much as 10.3 million pesos at age 65. But if we save that 1,000 pesos per month for 40 years in a savings account in the bank, the total sum is just around 480,000 pesos. And with inflation, its value can be lower. So why is that? Why the big difference? If we still do not know this, most banks will only give us 1% annual interest or less. So can you imagine yourself waiting for 72 years or 144 years to double your money? I don't think so, right? So the key point here is the interest in savings accounts is too low to offset inflation and increasing taxes. So that's why IMG encourages everyone to, let's say all of us, to learn and understand about compound interest and investing in the stock market. It is through investing in the stock market where we can invest our money and receive 8 to 12% average interest rates. And remember that we have to invest our money so it can grow a lot more for our long-term goals, such as, let's say, an extra retirement fund, or to if you want to plan to buy a house, right? Or a car, or to pay for our kids' education, among others. And there are two ways of investing in the stock market. So we have the hard way or the easy way. So direct investing is the hard way and indirect investing is the easy way. So for beginners, just like most of us, no idea about investing, we can start investing the easy way. So we are very fortunate to learn about this one because, hey, there's an easy way to invest, right? So the easy way or the indirect investing is investing in mutual funds. It is the easy way because there are fund managers who will invest for us and we can already start investing with just 1,000 pesos. We don't need 100,000 pesos to start investing. 1,000 pesos is enough, okay? And this is how mutual funds work. So, a mutual fund is a company composed of many big companies in the country. So we open a mutual fund account, we deposit our money, let's say our initial 1,000 pesos, and then the fund managers will invest our money in the many big companies in that mutual fund, okay? And then all we must do is wait for our money to grow and keep adding more money in our mutual fund account. So the returns or gains that we receive from our investment depends on, of course, how much we invested and how much the big companies have profited from their businesses. In short, while the big companies earn, we also earn through our mutual fund investment. And I just want to point out that since we already, let's say, open a mutual fund account with just 1,000 pesos, we can start, or let's say we can continue investing our money even for as low as 20 pesos. Okay? So I hope that's as easy as we can understand about mutual funds investing. But here in IMG, we have free classes or webinars on mutual funds investing. So if you are interested in opening a mutual fund account to start investing or to attend more classes to learn about mutual funds investing, please talk to the person who invited you after this class. Okay? All right. So before we start investing in mutual funds, let us first learn and understand the last concept for today, the concept of building a solid financial foundation. And this is how it looks like. So we have healthcare, we have life insurance, debt elimination or debt management, emergency fund, and investments. So these are the building blocks to achieving financial security or financial stability. And in order to achieve financial security, we need to properly start from the ground up, okay? And we need to build a strong financial foundation so that when there are challenges or problems that we encounter, such as sickness, unemployment, emergencies, loss of life, disasters, accidents, even pandemics, we will be protected from having major financial problems, and we will continue to be financially stable. So based on the solid financial foundation, we can be financially secure when we have proper health care because we have health insurance to help us pay for our hospital bills when we get sick. We can be financially secure when we have life insurance because if we die too soon, our family who are depending on our income will be taken care of. We can be financially secure when we are able to pay off all our debts because we no longer have that extra expense, meaning we have more savings and investments, okay? We can be financially secure when we have an emergency fund. Why? Because it means that we are prepared for any financial situation. And lastly, we can be financially secure when we have investments because when we retire, and when we live too long, we have enough money to support us. Okay? That is financial security. So, how do we start building a solid financial foundation? We have 5 easy steps. So, in this slide, these are the action plans that we need to do to start building our financial foundation. So when we build a strong financial foundation, we will be provided with a well-established financial house, which means a financially secured family. To learn more about each block of the financial foundation, you may get this information from the person who invited you. So don't forget to get in touch with them after this class. But I will give you a rundown of these action plans, okay? All right, so for proper healthcare, we get the short-term healthcare, which is our HMO from the company we are working at during our working years. So short-term healthcare during our working years and start our long-term healthcare plan for our retirement years. For life insurance, we get the minimum coverage by computing our annual or yearly income times 10 years. We need to, let's say, increase our cash flow so that we can manage to pay all our debts. And we also need to live below our means to avoid overspending. Okay? Once you eliminated your debt, zero debt, then that's fine. Okay? For emergency fund, we need to set aside at least, let's say, 12 times our monthly expenses. Okay, so 12 times our monthly expenses. If you're going to do some research, or you may have heard from other people that 3 to 6 months worth of expenses or income is enough as emergency fund, which is the standard. So you can start from there, like 3 months, 6 months, and then 12 months, right? But learning from this pandemic, which is going on for more than a year now, we recommend to have at least 12 times our monthly expenses as our emergency fund. Okay? Okay. And lastly, for investments, our retirement fund, we need to build it up by computing our annual income by 20 years. And once you have that amount or that number, we can achieve that retirement fund amount by investing in mutual funds and long-term healthcare. Okay? So remember, you can't save your money for retirement. You need to invest it. Okay? So, those are the action plans. If the next question we have in mind is, how do we really start it? Especially for our guests who are, let's say, first-timers to see a solid financial foundation, right? If you're a bit intimidated or challenged or confused, don't worry, we have been there. But you are in the right place because IMG can help you in building your solid financial foundation. Okay? So, how do we start? Let's focus first on 3 major financial needs, and these are proper healthcare, life insurance, and investments. So why these 3, you may ask? And that's a good question. It's because if you remember the X-curve concept, we need to prioritize the 2 what-ifs in our lives. What if we die too soon, and what if we live too long? Okay? So those 2 questions, right? Okay, so as mentioned earlier, IMG serves as a link in connecting individuals and families to different financial solutions or financial tools, right? So that's why IMG partnered with several trusted companies that will offer us the right financial solutions and tools that will meet or that will suit our financial needs. And one of IMG's partner companies to help us start building our financial foundation is Kaiser International. So Kaiser International is the only company in the Philippines that offers long-term health care that is coupled with life insurance and investment. So in this program, we do not need to save separately for healthcare, another for insurance, and another for investment. That's why it's called a 3-in-1 program, because with just one saving, we can already save for these 3. So we have healthcare to pay for our hospital bills and as an HMO during our retirement years. We have life insurance to protect our family if we die too soon. And we have investment to provide income that we need when we retire and if we live too long. Okay? So, the Kaiser Healthcare 3-in-1 program has the following features. It has a health savings account. It is paid with a fixed premium. It has 4-way insurance coverage. Any unused health fund or premiums accumulate with interest because the unused funds are being invested. How wonderful is that, right? Because comparing it to short-term healthcare plans, such as the standard HMO from our employer, any unused premiums that are taken from our paycheck are not returned to us, right? Do you agree? Okay, so if you know any other long-term healthcare plans, please let us know. Moreover, since this healthcare program is for long-term, it covers beyond age 60, provided of course that we have an active policy before we reach the age of 60 years old. Okay? Okay, so the Kaiser Healthcare 3-in-1 program, or simply the Kaiser plan, is a long-term healthcare plan that we save for just 7 years. And it matures in 20 years. And we have several plans that we can choose from based on age and preference. So in our example here, it is for the Kaiser K100 plan. Okay? So it has a total contract price of 411,750 pesos, which we can pay either monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, annually, or spot cash. Take note that there is also an annual policy fee of 500 pesos. So let us zoom in. Okay, so more on Kaiser. So in our example, we are 22 years old and we get the K100 Kaiser plan, right? The first 7 years is called the saving period or the accumulation period. So during this period, we receive benefits such as free checkups, APEs, dental benefits, waiver of installment due to death or disability. We get basic medical benefits and so on. Okay, so we have a list. And after the 7-year saving period, we will be given a certificate of complete payment. And then all we have to do is allow our money to grow for the next 13 years. Okay? So during the growth period or the extended period, we still get the benefits that were mentioned earlier. And upon reaching maturity or on the 20th year, our money that we saved worth 411,750 pesos has now accumulated to almost 1.2 million pesos. So, our saving for just 7 years can reach this amount, almost 1.2 million pesos, provided we did not get sick and use a portion of the savings amount. Okay? All right. Further, after the growth period and after our money has grown into almost 1.2 million pesos, we have the following options. One, we can withdraw the entire maturity value. Two, we can withdraw a portion of the maturity value. For example, we can withdraw 50% and leave the 50% invested. Okay? Or the third one is retain the maturity value, all of it, and let it grow further. Okay? Take note, however, that if we do option 1, which is withdraw the entire maturity value, we will no longer have coverage or any coverage under the Kaiser plan. Okay? Hence, it is highly recommended to keep the whole amount or a portion of it invested. Okay? So that we will continue to have a long-term healthcare plan. Okay? And in our example, if we started saving for this Kaiser K100 plan by age 22, and when we reach 60 years old, provided we haven't used or withdrawn any of our investment money, the total accumulated amount can grow to as much as 6.4 million pesos, and by age 65, our savings can grow to 10.4 million pesos. Hindi po ito magic because this is how compound interest works. Okay? Okay. So, the key takeaway from the Kaiser plan is the Kaiser healthcare program is a health fund for when we get sick, but if we remain healthy, it becomes a savings and investment fund. So you may take a screenshot of this slide and discuss with your inviter any question that you may have about the Kaiser plan. Okay? So I hope we can start with the Kaiser plan because with that one, we are already covering 3 blocks of our solid financial foundation. So let's all start building our solid financial foundation so we can achieve financial security. Okay? So don't miss that opportunity. All right, so before, I think we still have a few slides, so please give me more time. Okay, so aside from Kaiser International, IMG also partnered with several big companies in the country. Okay, so here is a list of some of these partner companies per category, providing healthcare, life insurance, investment, real estate, and other financial products and services. And with these partnerships, IMG is able to, provide 62 exclusive benefits that will help us in saving money and build wealth. So when we become a member of IMG, we get these benefits to help us achieve financial success. So first and foremost, we have unlimited free financial seminars, trainings, and workshops, financial checkups, and financial classes, just like today, as of course, this is IMG's ultimate mission, financial education. Second, in IMG, we receive free gifts. So marami yan. So you can just take a screenshot if you want. So we also have access to healthcare and discounted medical services. We have access to discounted insurance, investment, and other financial products and services. We also have access to services such as asset preservation, legal assistance, memorial services, and auto program. In IMG, we can receive rewards such as traveling the world for free. We have world-class recognition, and we can even qualify for free HMO coverage. Further, IMG is also providing its members with informative materials and online tools to support us in our online businesses. And if we have, of course, we have free or discounted classes and trainings to learn these online support system. We are also not forgetting our, let's say, international members, our OFWs. IMG provides worldwide protection and benefits. Okay. And lastly, in IMG, we can always earn extra income via the business ownership program so that we can increase our cash flow, and this can be the start of our own business career as a financial educator. So if you want to get more information on these exclusive benefits that we can get in IMG, let's talk to our inviters for more details. Or we can simply become a member of this wonderful IMG family. So to become a member, we have two options. We have the basic membership and associate membership. So this is a one-time payment lifetime membership with annual accreditation. So you can take a screenshot of this slide so you can discuss further with your inviter the benefits that we can get from each membership option. Okay, so the basic membership is 6,000 pesos for Philippine-based members, and the associate membership is 6,000 pesos plus the first month's payment of the Kaiser plan that we get. So for example, if we decided to get the Kaiser K100 plan, we will pay the initial fee of 12,382 pesos. And this table shows the breakdown of the fees that we are going to pay. So we can also take a screenshot of this slide and discuss with our inviter about the different Kaiser plans that will suit or fit our needs accordingly. All right? Okay, so can you give me a thumbs up? I want to make sure that you're still listening to me before we end this presentation, this slide. Thank you very much. All right. Okay, so we're almost done. So anyway, I just want to share that IMG, makukulit talaga kami. We want everyone, every Filipino to become part of the IMG family, because in this community, we will be inspired, we will be motivated to achieve financial success. Every time we hear stories about our other members with their financial story, their success story, we are inspired and motivated to work hard to achieve financial success as well. Okay, because the opposite will happen when we surround ourselves with people who are spenders. We will most likely spend more than we earn. So let's make IMG our money tribe, our money community that will help us overcome the financial challenges and help us achieve financial security. Our overall mission is to convert people from being spenders to savers. And in IMG, we all start as savers. And eventually we can become an advocate, an educator, or even an entrepreneur. So for our first-time guests, I congratulate you for taking the first step towards achieving financial independence by simply being here today. We are also encouraging all our guests to invite more of your family and friends or whoever who can benefit from these learnings. As of today, we are able to reach 4.2 million Filipino families around the globe. So let's all share the mission and grow our financially educated community. Okay, so that's our goal. Remember that financial independence is not a dream, it is a decision to make. So don't just dream about financial security, make it happen. And why not start our journey towards financial freedom with IMG? So for questions, I suggest that in the next 30 minutes or even the next 10 minutes if you want, let's meet with our inviters for further clarification and to get access to other IMG classes. So We are now done with our 2 p.m. class, and we hope to see you in the other classes. I hope everyone learned something new, changing. Thank you, everyone, and let's make it a great day. Bye-bye.